I'm GUYINAHATGAMES.
And Jamapel ZakashiGaming.
And we are the Silver Foxes. And today we are doing our winter holiday special. Hope everyone's having a fantastic holiday. And it's coming up to Christmas. Very, very Christmassy. All's the Christmassies. So we'll go straight into our... It's been a while, chat, since we did a music podcast. I am so rusty. I have no idea what's going on. Oh well. Right then, we'll go straight into our first track of the day, which is Christmas in Nightopia from Christmas Nights into Dreams. Enjoy. Very in theme this time. Do you remember when we did our Christmas one last year?
Yeah.
And we really struggled to find any Christmassy tracks.
I don't know how. I have no idea how. I think we just tried. I think it was like, no, wasn't it winter?
Yeah, we did.
Trying to do winter.
Like we were. Our intention was to do Christmas, but then it ended up just being a winter podcast.
It did a bit. Have you got the list? Have you got the list? What we had?
I don't anymore. I don't. But I do recognise a track on here, which we'll show later, which I'm relatively confident we featured it on that show.
Did we?
But I'm not too sure. I can't recall. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Hello, everyone out there. We are the Silver Foxes. We are ZakashiGaming and GUYINAHATGAMES. You could join us on the Discord to know when we go live with our various shows. Zakashi on Twitch. Not Twitch, the purple
platform. One. You've done it again. You've done it again.
He just finished Marvel Invasion, Cosmic Invasion.
The invasion of cosmic things.
Very much an enjoyable show. I can't wait to see what you play next. And me, GUYINAHATGAMES, we play Final Fantasy 1, going for the Platinum Trophy. And of course, us, the Silver Foxes, where we have a YouTube channel where we post our podcast episodes, where we do music-themed shows for video game music. And every now and then we'll do a special. Join us on the Discord to find out when and where. I think that's all housekeeping. And the first track you listened to today was Christmas Nights into Dreams, Christmas in Nightopia by Naofumi Hataya. Again, pronunciations, apologies. I actually really enjoy Nights into Dreams musically and aesthetically. yet I always struggle to actually play the thing because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
A Sonic Team, Sega Team, Sonic Team. I think it's a Sonic Team game. Let me double check. But I have tried to play it over the years, and I kind of just wing it because I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you kind of stay for the music because it's got some fantastic music.
It's got fantastic music. I do have the vinyl floating around somewhere. And during the Sega Dreamcast era, Sega Saturn era, they released a demo, a Christmas themed demo where they remixed some of the music for the first level. I think it was the second level. I don't quite recall. And it was great. And it just reminds me when I was picking tracks for this podcast, like, oh yeah, Nights into Dreams, they did a Christmas demo.
They literally did.
I have played that one as well. Again, it's the same game, but I don't know how to play the game very well. One day I would like to try and actually tick it off my backlog because somehow I own it physically. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know how I acquired it, but I do own it. It is one I'd like to...
Best time to play it. It's Christmas after all.
I know. I don't own the Christmas demo. I used to own the Christmas demo, and then I sold it because it was worth quite a bit of money at the time. But I've kept the original, which is worth a bit less now, I believe. But I don't know. It's just a nice track. Just a great Christmas opening.
And it's a Christmas song. You can hear the Christmas noise.
You can hear the bells. It's what is it? It's a jingle. Dun, 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 dun,
yeah,
dun,
jingle
dun, dun,
bells.
dun. There's a few good tracks on there. I like how they do spliced like Christmas motifs and instruments into like the bass song.
Yeah.
Of the original, which I'm very much enjoying. I should crack out my Nice Into Dream vinyl and give it a spin again soon. Yeah, great track. Very much enjoyed it.
Oh, I do have to apologise to everyone listening because if you hear me break out in French accents, I am literally just playing for Expedition 33, so yes. I'm just getting it out. I'm just getting it out, and I'm letting everyone know. So
don't worry, everyone was doing the French accents when that game came out, and some still do. Eventually, I don't know where you are, but I suspect there's a certain character you haven't met yet, and then when you meet him or her, you'll know. You'll be doing it even more.
It's not the little creature thing, was it?
I'm not telling you. You have to find out.
Oh, isn't that okay? Fair enough.
Keep playing.
I'll keep playing. I'll keep going.
You will know, and you tell me. Mon ami. Right then. This isn't the Expedition show. Join us in the Discord. That may happen very, very soon. We're gonna go. What's your thoughts on the track? Good.
That was good. I knew you were going to bring it because I thought you've always said about Christmas nights. So I was just like, I'll let you bring this one.
I've got it on the Steam Deck
it's good. Well. It's good. I've got it on the Steam Deck as well, but just haven't got around to doing it.
I will give it a try one day. I've got too many games to play. I've still barely started Final Fantasy Tactics, and I've got something else on the go. Either way, shall we go straight into our next track?
We'll go into track 2.
Track 2, you can probably see a sneak peek of it up there. I forgot to hide it. It's been a while, Chow. It's been what, like a month since we did our last music one. If you join us on the Discord and then follow us on the YouTube channels, you'll see the red. I don't have to because this will be posted on YouTube. You'll see we did the Not Game Awards.
That's the one,
Game Awards. The not Game Awards.
Not how to do the Game Awards.
Not how to do the Game Awards.
We did them we did it, so you didn't have
to. Anyway. We will go into our next track, chosen by our own Zakashi. Our next 2 tracks actually are chosen by our own Zakashi.
Indeed, they are.
I put them together because they're relatively similar. It's definitely from the same era and console.
It certainly was.
We're going to go straight into Diddy Kong Racing Frosty Village and Banjo-Kazooie Freezeezy Peak. I'll take that. Freezeezy Peak. Enjoy. Now, they definitely felt more Christmassy than our last year's show, even though they're
Definitely.
not specific Christmas songs. They are they're definitely winter themed. They've got the bells are
The
they're all quite
chimes.
upbeat. Yeah, the chimes and like the crystalline effect sound, like they're hitting on crystals, and of course the bells. Sadly, I've not played, from what I can recall, either of these two. I might have played a bit of Diddy Kong Racing. I never owned an N64 as a kid. And when it comes to emulation, I usually N64 is not really on my radar, sadly. I think I've only ever played Super Mario 64 and a little bit of Biggity Bop Bumble.
No, don't bring that in. Don't
Zelda.
bring that one in.
Bit of Zelda. I got further on Zelda and GoldenEye, but not Banjo-Kazooie, sadly. Even though I think I would thoroughly enjoy Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong 64. Especially now that I'm a bit more open to collectathons. It was a genre that I was just not into at all, collectathons. I don't like it, whereas now I'm a bit more open I'm much more open to it, especially after playing games like Hat in Time and Sonic Frontiers and Croc to an extent. Yeah, great tracks. Very much enjoy them. It does make me actually want to delve more into the N64 library. Maybe it's something I can work on next year, especially now that I don't have to deal with that bloody N64 controller, the worst controller that's ever existed. It's very much a Marmite controller, and I'm very much in the camp who not a fan of that controller. And yet, I appreciate that a lot of people got so much fond memories, including you with the N64, which I assume is why you brought these tracks in today.
I certainly did. You know, what was it? Nearly 30 years ago, probably 1997 Christmas. I got my very first console ever bought that wasn't handed down or given to somebody else, but a brand new out of box experience.
Yeah.
Nearly 30 years ago in 1997. And I had this game, I think was the only game I had at the time. And I played Diddy Kong Racing to death. Mm-hmm. It was still one of my all-time favorite racing games. I think they just got it so perfect. It's such a definitely an underrated, underappreciated racing game. Yeah. Certainly, a lot of people like myself who are probably in that niche market have been wanting a new Diddy Kong, but they just that's going to be we're pushing it a bit too much on that. I think if we can't get an F-Zero, we're not going to get a Diddy Kong Racing. So that's certainly going to be the case. But this holds memories, like because it was again Christmas time, playing this, and then just playing Christmas levels. It's always different playing Christmas levels at Christmas. Yeah, and and experience it as a kid. I don't know, just the imagination and myself just being lost into a world. I wish I could just have that in a bottle and just being that kid again and just experiencing those things that I can just be like.
Christmas is certainly different as you get older, isn't it?
It does. It certainly does, and it's just those moments that sometimes I wish I could just experience again. But just quickly as well, while we're on it, I just want to say like how much I enjoyed a lot of Rare games. Yeah. And one thing I do miss.
They've got so much fans, haven't they?
It's so I miss seeing the Rare logo. For some reason, I miss seeing it when you're older gaming, and you just know you're gonna have
a good time, an
experience.
They were kings of N64 at the time, weren't they?
Oh, they were. They made so many good games, and again, like I say, these two tracks, are the perfect example of Rare at their best. Just again, there's another track on Diddy Kong that has like a Christmas themed, but I think it's called Walrus Cove, I believe it's called. But the one that came to my head was Frosty Village, and I just remember playing that, and it's just so good. It's just a festive theme, David Wise did a good job, mostly with a lot of all the tracks that he produced for it. And he, throughout a lot of the tracks, if you do listen to them all back to back, you'll know that he does like to use like callbacks to a lot of the tracks and kind of fits them all in together. So you'll have little bits of instruments that will just feature in other parts of songs, which is quite cool. And it made to me it made the world more immersive. So I think David Wise, you nailed the soundtrack. I love you for it.
Essentially, to have those like just strong memories of Rare and the N64 and the games and music like surrounding it. Like Rare, even though I never owned 64 back in the day, even back then I was very familiar with Rare just from a friend in high school I had, and we played GoldenEye 64 at his house, and even I could acknowledge as like 10 frames per second N64 multiplayer and dealing with that controller. Even then I knew I was playing a great game, and I had a great time with friends. And looking at, I can't remember what else he had. He definitely had another N64 game by Rare. The name it escapes me. It was either Banjo-Kazooie or Donkey Kong. It was in that style, and I can't remember which one, sadly. Yeah, even I could acknowledge that they're a great great developer or were a great developer. I don't think they exist anymore, do they?
No, they got bought out by the soft.
Yeah, sadly,
and
just
destroyed everything.
Times, really, yeah. David Weisman is still working. I think he did the ukulele, which is very much a callback to this era of gaming. Banjo-Kazooie, and Diddy Kong Racing. And sadly, I haven't got around to playing that game yet. I own them, and I own the first ukulele, and now there's a ukulele remaster right around the corner. It's like, wow, it took me this long to actually get around to it. There's a remaster coming out around the corner, so maybe I'll play that one. But yeah, great tracks. Thank you for bringing them, and thanks for sharing your memories on them.
Yeah, that's right. Like, and same thing with Banjo. Banjo came a bit later for me, but when I got around to actually playing Banjo-Kazooie for the first time, it's such a good experience. Like I say, some people could argue and say Banjo-Kazooie was better than Super Mario 64. I don't know if I would say so, but they're both fantastic, and they're both on that pedestal together.
Without Mario 64, I don't think we would have Banjo or Diddy Kong 64. I don't think we would have had those.
No.
Super Mario 64 is so influential in many different ways, not just for the platformers, but for creating other game developers. So we can't knock that for sure. Yeah, great tracks. Very much enjoy them. Do you want to move on to our next ones?
We certainly can.
And thank you for sharing those. That was Diddy Kong Racing Frosty Village by David Wise, and Banjo-Kazooie Freezeezy Peak by Grant Kirkhope, another legendary composer. Very legendary. Right, our next two tracks, one brought by myself and another one by ZakashiGaming. One I'm quite interested in hearing why you brought this one along. I'm very intrigued. I'm incredibly intrigued.
I will give you my reasons.
So this next track is Dust and Elysian Tale Blackmoor Mountains by HyperDuck SoundWorks, and Final Fantasy VII Remake Midnight Rendezvous by Mitsuto Suzuki, and original composer, of course, by Nobuo Uematsu. Enjoy. Any chance I can get to talk about Dust and Elysian Tale, I will take it. That was Dust and Elysian Tale, Blackmoor Mountains by HyperDuck SoundWorks. I don't recall really ever speaking about Dust and Elysian Tale to you, Zach, because...
No, you haven't mentioned it.
The soundtrack to that game is actually one of my favourite soundtracks of all time. There's not a single track on that soundtrack that I skip. I own it on vinyl, and I'd love to own the video game physically. Yet it was a limited run thing, and I didn't catch it at the time. Yeah, I'm more than happy with my vinyl. Dust and Elysian Tale is a 2D Metroidvania style game. And it's one of the first early single developer games. It was designed by Dean Dudrill. Apologies for the name, but with his developing team. I say team, developer Humble Heart. But Humble Heart is Dean Dodrill, and he made the entire game himself. The art, he used the engine, he made everything apart from the soundtrack, which was done by HyperDuck SoundWorks, two Irish individuals. Made in Microsoft XNA, if anybody remembers that one.
Oh wow!
It's an old game.
Going
it's
back
2012. It was released in 2012, so it's quite an old game. And I remember playing it. It's not too long of a game, relatively short, and I was so hooked on the story. It's a story. It's just heartfelt, heartbreaking. It's one I remember like crying on it because various things are happening. It really got me emotionally, that game. One of the things I enjoyed about the game is, even though you do have traveling companions, when you're traversing the world, it's quite lonely. But it's lonely in such a breathtaking way. Like the art that's on display in this video game is beautiful. It's gorgeous, all 2D, like painterly. It's such a gorgeous game. Unfortunately, it's been so long since I played it. We're talking more than 10 years ago. What is it, 2012? So 10, 12, 13 years ago. My memory on it is incredibly vague. And yet the soundtrack and just the emotional attachment that I have to the game itself, even though I don't quite remember why, I remember the feeling. It's one of those games I would love to play again. If you're into games kind of like maybe Supergiant games, their early works like Bastion and Transistor, where it's more your characters in a lonely setting, with maybe one or two extra characters who you bump into from time to time, but of a Metroidvania perspective. If you're into those style of games, I highly recommend Dust and Elysian Tale. It's available on Steam, quite cheap, like $11.99 from when I last checked, and it's regularly on sale. Highly recommend, especially if you're into Metroidvania and story-heavy gameplay. I don't know how well it's aged. Again, I don't quite remember. But the soundtrack, I listen to various tracks from the soundtrack throughout the years. I still listen to it. I still have it on vinyl. I might throw that on later, just to gush and reminisce again. But what a beautiful soundtrack, and all made by two individuals. I don't know if they're real instruments. They might all be synth instruments or digital instruments. Yeah, I like how HyperDuck SoundWorks is able to create so much emotion and breath and sound just from digitized instruments, but have it both cinematic, yeah, especially in this track as well. Even though it's not Christmas, it's not a Christmas track. It's the level that it's set in is a lonely, snowy mountain peak. And I just love how grand it is. Like the setting itself, where you are traversing a massive mountain and you're going in the mountain with all this cave structure, just like the breadth of it. Yet it incorporates this subtle mysticism, icy chimes again, right, with crystal motifs. Incredible, absolutely incredible. I will talk about this game until the day I die. I imagine I say that about a lot of games I feature on this show, but it's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show, is to highlight video games that maybe not everyone knows and is high. And this game is very much a cult classic. Like, when it came out, the reviews were 8s and 9s all across the board, right? But even then, people just weren't talking about it. And I just wanted to highlight this game in any settings I can. Dust and Elysian Tale, highly recommended game, highly recommended. Sadly, I don't think we're going to get another one in this series. Dean Dolan has only ever made one game after this in 2018, which is a completely different vibe, called Never Stop Sneaking, which is a Metal Gear Solid style game. It's completely different. And I don't know what this individual is doing now. There's not been any talks of another Dust and Elysian Tale, which is it's just quite sad. Yeah, I wish that the individual all the respect and love and future projects that he deserves. I only hope one day we'll get another game in this series. Yeah, the game itself is very much its own contained story. You can play the entire game and then that's it. You can move on with your life. It's a great game, incredibly emotional. And you know me, I could chug through lots of different games, both of varying quality, if I connect with the characters within it. And I very much connected with the few characters that you get in the game. Very much so. Yeah. Thank you for listening. What do you think of the track?
Yeah, no, it was a good track. Like I said, it's like I could just feel myself like adventuring through, as you say, like through mountains and stuff. So, because I've never played Dust, I know the cover. I've seen some of the art for it. I always thought, oh, it always looked like a pretty game, but just something that avoided me at the time because it came out such a long time ago. And again, it was like at that time where I think didn't it like just get put onto the 360 marketplace and stuff like that?
It was, yeah. I think it had a bit of backing from the Microsoft Studios. If there we go, the studio publisher was Microsoft Studios, and they were, it was like Microsoft 360 back in the day was, if you could recall, very much spearheading this indie game development. It's like indie gaming or indie developers was just starting to become a thing. It's just starting to creep into popularity, and the tools were just about getting to the point where like bedroom developers could just about find their feet, like with engines like XNA, Unreal Engine 3, and I don't know if Unity was out at the time. I don't recall. I think it was Unity. I think Unity was there.
Didn't we have a look at XNA when we were in uni?
I think we did. I think we looked at Talk as well. That was another one.
Yeah, the Talk engine, yeah.
The Talk engine, which is very much a program heavy. And I'm actually great that we've got game engines now where you don't really need to know much programming, just a lot of the basics to get going. It's very much do-it-yourself engines nowadays, which is fantastic. But yeah, this is an early account of a singular individual making a game, and it's fantastic. Yeah, for whatever reason, it just didn't catch in popularity like games like Fez or Braid or Limbo, things like that. Which is a crying shame. It is a crying shame. And it's well worth everybody's time. I don't know if it holds well. Again, it's one of those where I would like to revisit again at some point in the future. Because it's been so long, and it's definitely been long enough where I can't remember a lot of the story beats. Certainly long enough. Yeah, great game. Highly recommend it. I'd love to own the game physically, but it's just not available physically anymore unless you want to pay eBay prices, which not really willing to do.
Nobody wants to do that.
No, but it's available everywhere. It's on including the Switch. It's been made to the Switch. It's on GOG, PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, whatever your preference is, you'll find it. Very much recommend, and it can run on a toaster. Like it's not a hard game to run. It's an incredible game. And then moving on to your I don't want to say a random track. It's intrigued me because it's not it's not ice, it's not winter. I imagine it is a cold, dark night where the game that moment takes place. Yeah, listening to it, I don't know if it's something to be said about reframing something in another way. It's like I kind of see how this could be Christmassy, like on a cold, wintry night that this song could be played. I can hear it. So why did you bring this track today? Final Fantasy VII Remake, Midnight Rendezvous by Mitsuto Suzuki.
Because I wanted to be awkward. That's why I was like, let's make an awkward track. No, but this I put in because of that feeling, as you just perfectly mentioned. I will, however, just quickly say that before I decided with this one, it was going to be Terra's theme. I was just perfectly just thought just Terra's theme was, especially Terra's theme from World of Final Fantasy. That's what it was going to be. That's my honorable mention. But let's get back onto this one. So my feeling with this track is that it comes where you, as Buzz Cloud, and you are venturing the slum paths to go further in, and you're having this special moment with Aerith, and it's kind of like your first beginnings of, well, it's the first beginnings of the friendship that you're building, and it just gives you so much. It's just wholesome. It's such a wholesome track, and but you can also picture it from another perspective. And something that I've looked into a bit was that this track was dubbed Sector 7 Christmas song by the fans. Yeah. Because of the festive decorations that are in the game during this part, because it obviously, with all the plates and everything, it's dull in it. There's no light, so they shine up everything, don't they? So, but the aura of the slums of the place, it's just got that much decorations and stuff, but where it happens and things like that. But if it wasn't for the plates, I think this part of the game, I think it would be snow. There would be snow. It just would fit it. So that's partly the reason for it. And like I say, there's a lot of the instruments that kind of use maybe the soft bells, even the percussions. They were all quite, it's quite gentle, isn't it? Listening. So you could always kind of picture it in a kind of a snowy evening. That's what I kind of brought to it. But yeah, that was really the reasons why. I was just like, I knew there was a track on Remake, and I was I tried to find it for a long. I was like, oh, what's it called? I was like, when I played it, and it was during that time with Aerith, I literally typed in Aerith meet first time or second time and stuff like that, and I'm like, which track is it? And then I just found it, and I was like, this is it. So I was glad I was able to find it and give my reasons for it. But I hope I've convinced people that it can be a Christmas track.
I can imagine a scenario where this could be like, it's, I could definitely imagine like two lovers on a serene solitude spot overlooking a city in the cold, in their warm clothes, and with a light mist of snow on the ground, and this track playing in the background. I could totally see the narrative around it. If it was snowing in that scene, I could totally imagine this song working perfectly, complementing the scene. And that's, a great thing why I love doing this, and how video game music can be reframed in different ways, in different scenarios, and and it's amazing. I love it. Thank you for bringing it. I can see your reasoning and your feelings on it. Why you
like icicles,
think this is
Icicle feels like just the percussions and the chimes of that, and I'm feeling like I can see icicles. I can just see icicles forming. Kind of almost. It kind of gives me that Final Fantasy 13 vibe of when you go into the crystal area. You know, just seeing all the crystals, and
it's a very easy to sync sound, isn't it, for like composers and musicians to incorporate, just to make it a little bit icy or Christmassy, that sort of that crystalline like sounds, and you can play with that in different ways. And I imagine it's interesting challenge for the composer to try and incorporate that, yet create something new with that sound. It's also not an easy, I don't want to say it like that. It's a well-used tool, a humble tool to use to create a certain type of an emotion, wintry, cold, Christmassy, if you want to call it Christmassy, the wintry emotion within oneself. I like it. Thanks for bringing that track along. I like that, and I like the scene in Final Fantasy VII, both original and this one. That scene in particular, when Cloud and Aerith like hang out on top of this Moogle slide. It's probably like one of the most famous scenes in 7. Like, it's well loved, well regarded, and well talked about, and well studied. It's very much an intimate moment, and especially, I don't want to spoil it too much, even though it's an old game, and even Remake is not newish. It's been out a while. Like, even that scene, it's where the seeds start getting planted on is Cloud. It's very subtle at that point, but there's something not quite matching up, and it's there that the seed is first planted. But yeah, great track. Excellent. Do you want to move on to our next ones?
I certainly plow forward.
Absolutely. Right then, we are now going into our next 2 tracks of the day. One brought by our own ZakashiGaming, which would be Dark Souls 3, with a incredibly long name. Sister Friede, is it Friede?
Yeah, Sister Friede.
Sister Friede, Father Ariandel, and Blackflame Friede by composer Yuka Kitamura. And Orphan, Sign of Sorcery, The Icy Waters by Masanori Hikachi. Enjoy. Now, if you're someone who's having a very sad Christmas, these two tracks might be for you. Probably our least Christmassy tracks on the show, and the very moody tracks, incredibly atmospheric tracks. I thought these two would pair quite well with each other. You brought along the Dark Souls 3, Sister Friede, Father Ariandel, Blackflame Friede by Yuka Kitamura. I think sometimes, because I'll look through YouTube to have a look at the songs and put them in a playlist to release alongside this show on YouTube, so people can go in the comments, click on the playlist, and just listen to the tracks one after each other if they don't feel like listening to the show, us talk, for whatever reason, or you want to come back to it later, then the tracks are there just to listen to. Sometimes a comment in a single line can perfectly capture the entire emotion or theme or an opinion of an entire track. And with this one, I think someone commented, "This is actually a great track when I'm not shouting and screaming at the screen."
Quite literally.
And I don't know the context. Yeah, I feel like that comment's quite accurate.
100%. I live by that. Like a lot of Dark Souls, in any Souls game that's ever been made, you don't appreciate the music until you listen to it, like well after, because you are so focused. You're so shouting at a screen for the half an hour trying to beat a bloody boss. And then you're like, fine, it's over with. But that's it. You don't hear the track ever again. Sometimes you'll hear little bits of it and you're like in the moment, but that's about it. And this is certainly one of those. If anyone knows, that third health bar, honest to God, I think most of us felt like we'd just been defeated. Like, we just can't. Like, just the third one. Like, no, come on. Yeah, I'm right. Okay, put it this way. I'm not Vatty, right? I'm not going to give you the lore. If you want the lore into Father Ariandel and Friede, that go and watch his video. Like, I'm not going to break it down. He does it by far better. So, but what I will, like, the reason why, again, like I brought the track is because of it's the painted world. It's predominantly in snow. It kind of gives me, like if Christmas or the winter period was an apocalypse, that's what, and a lot of people probably think that every time Christmas comes along. So I thought, well, I'll put one in for those peeps, ones that want to live in a
people who are saddened by Christmas. Here's for you.
Here's one's for you, because we've had a bit of everything. So I'll throw that one in. Yeah, I love the track. It's again like a lot of Souls games, especially Dark Souls 3. I think one of my fun time playing a Souls game, I think, was 3. I think most of the others I enjoyed, but I didn't enjoy more than 3. I love Bloodborne, don't get me wrong. But if I'm putting it down to enjoyment, I think 3 is the top. Partly due to
keeps telling me to play DS3.
Yeah,
over any of the other ones.
It's the most complete. It's the best Dark Souls game. Just Dark Souls. I'm not saying Souls game, but the Dark Souls experience, play 3. You'll have much a better time than you will on any of the others. But just like as the guy, as you mentioned, the comment, that comment is perfect to describe every single Dark Souls boss song, because it's not until afterwards you go, do you know what? I actually want to listen to what was playing while I was fighting, and then you realize that
it's so intense. They're intense games. They're so intense.
Yeah.
And with everything going on, it's quite hard to catch every individual moment and like hear me out. Hear me out. I get like that with a lot of newer Sonic games, because the level, like, it's especially Sonic X Shadow Generations. Like, I love that game. I love the soundtrack. Yeah, I didn't really fully appreciate the soundtrack until I listened to it out of the game. Of course, I was streaming that game too, and when a lot of things are happening all at once, a lot of stimuli in terms of sound, gameplay, either people speaking, and if you're streaming as well, a lot of nuances and get lost. And especially if your brain is so overreactive anyway, it's quite hard to take a moment to appreciate any singular artistry that's happening on the screen. So sometimes you do have to just take a step back and listen to certain things or watch certain things individually in a calmer space. And so I can relate to this, your feelings on you don't really know the tracks until you start listening to them outside, because I get like that with a lot of fast-paced games like Sonic the Hedgehog, where a lot of the songs I grew to like outside of the game, mostly because as technology goes on, there's lots more sound effects, there's a lot more things happening. I think that's why we like a lot of retro games, because they only really had simple sound effects and a soundtrack that carries like a certain motif. So I imagine with Dark Souls, any of them really, there's some gorgeous like, you've brought so many Dark Souls musics. Like, this is actually amazing. Like, they are world class.
The second to none
performance
unbelievable
music. They're amazing and beautiful and harrowing and terrifying, which is lost when you're in the thick of battle and you're angry, especially when you got a strong emotion like frustration and anger happening at the same time. That kind of tunnel visions you into doing a certain thing. Especially like Bloodborne. I played Bloodborne. I streamed it. I played a lot of Bloodborne actually. Well, I don't know about a lot, but I played a lot of it. Couldn't remember a single track from that game. I couldn't tell you. It wasn't the point. The point was just to not die. And when you're so laser focused on the thing, sometimes the music does get lost, and you have to take. This is another great reason why we do the show, and hopefully for people out there listening too. It's the chance for that track to shine on its own. And I'm glad you brought this one. It definitely sounds like you're fighting to the death in a snowy, wintry place.
Oh, it's crazy. Well, I mean, you're in a church, and then you fight.
I can hear it. Yeah,
you fight Friede first, and then you fight Friede and Father Ariandel, and then you fight Blackflame Friede, who's just gone into like Super Saiyan mode, and it's crazy. It's a mad. It was DLC. It was part of the painted world.
I love
DLC.
the design of Sister Friede. She looks so cool.
And a scythe. I was literally just about to say she has a scythe.
I don't know why, but I don't know if it was you or someone else I was asking. It's like, if I was a Dark Souls boss or character, who would I be? And someone said, it could have been you, probably Sister Friede.
It might have been.
I can't remember the conversation.
She has some really cool animations of like when she grabs and stuff like that. I was like really like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. When she can just like throw you up and then gut you with a scythe, and then she'll like move behind you and slice your throat. It's like some of the cool ways to die, but definitely not. You don't want to be caught. It's such a great. I love Dark Souls. I love it. It's so good.
And I love that you love it. I always feel the passion when you talk about it. I really do. More passion, more energy.
Yeah, that's the one.
And I do want to play it. I want to play a lot of games, mate. There's so many games I want to play, and I just haven't got the time.
Let's start with somewhere. Let's start somewhere first.
Right now, I'm just focusing on starting properly Final Fantasy Tactics, because I've only dabbled in it and I've not really give it its due diligence. And it's also, I started playing it at the worst time because the Final Fantasy 14 patch has just come out with loads of stuff happening with MSQ and the raids. So that one's my current main focus until I move on to Fantasy Tactics, and that's my main focus. And then one after that, Unicorn Overlord is my main focus because my grandmother bought me that for my birthday, and I feel guilty because she keeps asking if I played it, and I'm like, no, I'm so sorry, but she doesn't understand how video gamers are. We have too many, and I don't know how to explain it to them. Thank you regardless. But yeah, great track. Very much enjoyed it. Any last thoughts on it?
No, no, I don't think so. It's just a great track. And
excellent. Yeah. Thank you for bringing it. My next track was The Icy Waters from Orphan Sign of Sorcery by Masanori Hikachi. I'd like to share I don't know if I shared this memory before on the show. If not, I can share it now. This is one of the few video game moments where it actually has a strong memory for me from when I was a child. And in relation to Christmas too. I have a birthday at the end of November, for the viewers who know. My birthday's at the end of November, and then we don't have long until Christmas. So I don't recall how old I was, yet I was in primary school, so it would have been the last year of primary school. It was definitely the last year of primary school. It was the year the PlayStation 2 came out in the UK. So what, 2000. Well, there we go, November 24th, 2000. So all the parents were scrambling around. I don't know if anybody who's older during this time, you could just about recall, trying to get a PlayStation 2 in 2000 into 2001 was quite the feat. It was quite difficult. It was like trying to get a Wii when that came out, or even now when the Switch first came out. It was an incredibly difficult console to get hold of. But around my birthday time, I had money, and I said I wanted a PlayStation 2 because I loved the PlayStation 1 so much. Mum took me to a store. I don't recall the store. I want to call it Game. I think it may have been Game. And I had a choice of a couple of PlayStation 2 games that have come out in anticipation for Christmas. And I bought two games. One was Silent Scope, because I played that in an arcade beforehand. And Orphan Sign of Sorcery. As a child, I knew straight away from playing Final Fantasy VII that role-playing games was my jam. I loved role-playing games. It was my favorite genre at that time, and still is. And this was at a time when I didn't have the internet. I don't even know if the internet was a thing then. I didn't have the internet, so I did what every other kid did. I just judged it based on the cover. And I seen Orphan Sign of Sorcery. And I think it was the early beginnings of my love for anime and anime aesthetics without understanding what is anime and where it came from, or that style of drawing. I just knew I loved Pokemon. And I seen Orphan Sign of Sorcery with Orphan on the box, fighting like an up close version of him with his palm out, and then like him in the distance fighting something. I can't quite remember. I turned the box over and I was like, yep, this is a role-playing game in a heavy anime style. I'm on board. I cannot wait to play it. And I purchased it. And leading from then to Christmas, what I used to do is I used to take the manual to school. I used to take the manual to school with me. And I used to draw all the character cover and all the characters that were inside the manual. And I used to imagine and daydream, like, who is this character? How do they relate to each other? What type of adventures we're going to go on? I used to draw it over and over again on my notebook and on envelopes and on sheets of paper. And I just imagined the world I was going to be transfixed in. Sadly, my mum did say sometime after that she had a great difficulty pre-ordering a PlayStation 2. She just couldn't get one, unfortunately. And I can't quite remember the particulars, but as a child, I knew I was disappointed, yet understood. She said I would get it in the new year. It was still a Christmas present. Yeah, I would get it the minute it came out. It came to her hands. And I was in the living room. I would have been about 10, maybe 9, 10. No, I was 10. No, I would have just turned 11. I would have just turned 11. I was opening all my presents, having a great time, and eventually my mum said, "Oh, hold on, there's one more." And she went into the dining room behind the door and pulled out a big box. And I opened the big box, and it was a PlayStation 2. And it was the first time ever I cried at receiving a gift. It may have been the only time, I'm sure it hasn't, but I don't recall crying about receiving a gift. I was so emotionally overwhelmed. And because I wanted this thing so much, and I was so excited to play this Orphan Sign of Sorcery. And I was just so overwhelmed. And then I started crying, and then Mum started crying, and I was with my auntie at the time, so she started crying. We were all crying. And it was just a beautiful, profound memory. And as I may have alluded to through various shows, I don't have strong memories of my childhood. They just, and as I've gotten older, they disappear further back in time, which is sad in a way. It is quite sad. But every now and then, I'll always have strong memories on very particular points, and this was one of them. Of my mum, somehow, some way. I think my uncle helped as well, of getting that PlayStation 2. And I know the first game I played was, of course, Orphan Sign of Sorcery. Sadly, I tried to plug it into the TV in my house at the time, and it didn't work properly. I had the wrong cable. No, we had an old TV, and the TV was so old, it only had RF. It didn't have It didn't have a composite, the yellow, red, white.
Yeah.
And I was so disappointed. Like, it was a bit anticlimactic. And then I was crying again, but for a different reason. And then my mum was annoyed. So she took me to my grandmother's, my nines. And she had a little portable TV in upstairs, which had composite, and I'd left the PlayStation 2 there, plugged it all in, and then that was my experience with it, and I'd soon forgotten all the drama back home. And everyone went out to the pub, and I was like, no, I'm staying home playing this game, and I was so transfixed. It was everything I wanted. The game itself, I don't know if it's aged very well. It's one of those games that I'm hesitant to ever revisit because the memory is so special to me and so profound. I don't want to taint it with my adult sensibilities and the lessons that I've learned in my life. Like, sometimes some memories are so precious, I kind of want to preserve them. I don't know if that's healthy. I don't know if it's a healthy thing. I think both the memories of your childhood and the memories now of experiencing the same thing can both occupy the same space and what it is. But I would like to retry it one day. I'd like to stream it one day. I'd like to play it as a streaming game. Maybe play it with retro achievements on and go through them. To this day, it's still quite a unique battle system. There's not a battle system that's quite similar to it. It's real time, yet you're in a fixed position, similar to a turn-based, and you have to kind of watch enemy animations. Kind of similar in a way to Expedition 33, but more basic. You do have to watch the enemy and see what animation is going to do, and then as soon as they do it, it's like, right, I need to do this quickly, like see shields, spells, and swords. It's a great game in that regard. Very much rock, paper, scissors kind of S to it. Soundtrack. It's not one I listen to very often, to be honest with you. It's I tend to listen to the battle track and the opening. I love the opening to this game. It's full on 90s aesthetic anime classic opening. I think Dragon Ball Z, but not with rock, but like a orchestra sounding thing. And I just wanted to highlight it more for that memory. I just wanted to share that memory, and I wanted to bring a track from that game. And it just so happens there is an ice level track place in the game where, you know, you're on an adventure on a lonely island, a very lonely island. It's near dead. And I think this track perfectly encapsulates that with like the track has not much going on. It's quite slow, low key, and then just to emphasize how lonely it is, they'll just add a piano, just one note, so dun, 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 dun. It's incredibly slow, and like you're traversing through a lonely, icy place with caution, because everything there is designed to kill you, including the floor, because the floor is ice, and you have to walk slightly on it, and you're flying off it. It's a strange mix of. It's a role-playing game, but it has a jump, and sometimes the jumping onto a platform just is not designed for it. But I loved it, and it's definitely one I'd love to replay again. For anybody interested, there is no official means of playing it anymore. It is one you'll have to acquire and emulate. It's an easy game to emulate. It's not difficult. And I don't know if it's aged particularly well, but if you're somebody who enjoys role-playing games and wants something a little bit different, this is definitely something different. And it's got beginnings of some humble voice actors, like the guy who voiced Axel in Kingdom Hearts. I think this was one of his earlier roles in voice acting.
I think Jennifer Hale's in it as well.
Yeah, I think Jennifer Hale is in it. Let me get the voice cast. Sign of Sorcery voice cast. There's so many voice actors in there that went on to do other things. Oh, Quentin Flynn. Orphan was Quentin Flynn. Jennifer Hale's Cleo. Justin Ron something or other. I think he was the boy in Cowboy Bebop, was he? No. Oh, this was his only role. And then Chris Cox. There's Jennifer Hale again as and Tara Strong. Tara Strong played the young boy.
Oh.
And she's in everything.
Yeah, she is.
Literally everything. Yeah, great game. Highly recommend if you're a fan of retro PlayStation 2 era games, and if it's one you missed, check it out. And I think it's still incredibly affordable on the likes of eBay. It's actually one of those PlayStation 2 RPGs that has not shot through the roof.
Yet.
Get it while you can. Unfortunately, and I'm incredibly grateful, I still own that original battered copy of the manual that's been flicked through to death.
So that's the wholesome bit. That's wholesome.
Yeah, I still own it. I've sold, rebought, got rid of, and lost various things in my life, and moved around so many times, and I've lost so many things in the moves and during that time. Yeah, there's some video games that I have in my collection that I will do my best to keep hold of for as long as I possibly can, because they have so much memory attached to it. And for me, Orphan is one of them. I remember I said to you, if I was to have like a box, like a treasure box of a certain size, and that's it, that's the only box that I could have to house anything that I want in my life, and it means other things would have to go. This one box, it would definitely contain Orphan Sign of Sorcery. It's more than a video game. It's incredibly sentimental to me. I don't know if it's in my top 10 games of all time, but it's certainly in my top 10 games to get to know me. And stay tuned, because we might have a themed show around that. Stay tuned. Yep, it's £7 complete in box manual on eBay. It's not cheap at all. I mean, it is cheap. It's incredibly cheap. It's under a tenner. You get a near mint one for £12. Highly recommended. Thank you for listening. Great track. Yeah, what's your thoughts on the track?
Yeah, it's a nice track. I can't say that I rented it once, and I think that was it. I think at the time,
it's not for everyone. It's incredibly janky, even at the time. I don't even know who made it, to be honest. Like, who made it?
So yeah, I can't really give you much information from a gameplay standpoint, but from a musical standpoint, yeah, that was a nice. It was a really eerie track. Like
it was an eerie
kind
track.
of something you would expect in some horror, or some. You wouldn't expect it from this type of game, but I've not played enough of it to really grasp the overall theme of the game. And you have. Would you say it was more of a? Would you say it was horror-esque? Would you say it had a lot of horror vibe?
No, I wouldn't say horror. I'd say it's maybe horror adjacent, and I don't know what. Like, there's nothing in the game that's spooky. Like, it has atmospheric moments. I would say, think more of something closer to Dark Souls, where Dark Souls isn't. I wouldn't class it as a horror, but it's got its tension moments, I suppose.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't call it a horror. It's just atmospheric. Atmospheric is probably the best way I could describe it. It's got a lonely atmospheric, and there's definitely monsters lurking in there. The only other game I could, from the top of my head, I could get close to it would be a game on the Wii called Fragile Dreams, where it's not a horror, but it's incredibly lonely, and that incorporates some spooky, fear-inducing elements. The developer is called Shade, and I don't think they've ever made anything else. Because I can't find any information on Shade, sadly, other than they made this one game, which is incredible. A lot of games to start with. They didn't even have a Wikipedia article, unfortunately. Shade Inc. Yeah. But yeah, great game. Very much enjoy it. It's one I'd like to go back. Yeah, I also kind of want to preserve its memory. Yeah, okay. Shall we round out the show?
We shall.
Round out the show. We got one more track, so we've got to listen to that track between us now, and then we'll come back and we'll have a quick chat about it, and then we'll carry on. So we've got to listen to the track now. Isn't that just the most nostalgic track and Christmassy track you've heard? And you're like,
definitely it's a good way to end on. But I was going to say, you sure Rare didn't make that? Because when the banjo came in, I was like, this is Rare. This is a Rare song.
It might be. I'm not sure. What I like about that track is it kind of encompasses a lot about Christmas, isn't it? Is that Christmas can be a time of togetherness, reflection on the year that you just had, and other Christmases and years that you've had throughout your life. And for me and Zach especially, we have a lot of fond memories about Final Fantasy VII when we were children, and this track is just a perfect celebration of Final Fantasy music in the framing of Christmas. It's both nostalgic, festive, incredibly humble, in keeping with the season, both Christmas and of the winter. And I'm so glad I got to spend another Christmas with my best friend and the family that I have with me, sharing all the love and of course the gifts. It's not about the gifts, but just the gift of being present with everybody is more than enough, and sharing the love and the spirit. And how else better way is there a way to spread it than Final Fantasy VII, one of our favorite games of all time, and depending on which day you ask us, probably our favorite game of all time. Depends on what day you ask. Yeah, I love Final Fantasy VII. I love you, my husbando for life.
I love you too.
Tifa's left boob to my right boob.
That's the one. That's the one.
Eris butt crack to Eris right butt crack.
Yeah, we'll take that one. Yeah, we'll work on that one.
We'll work on that one. The butt cheek.
Yeah,
where the thigh meets the cheek.
That's the one. We'll have that. We'll take that one.
Because Zach's been grinding the outfits in Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis.
Ever Crisis again.
And
Just
Aerith
pulls
has
me back in.
a Kaine
Just
outfit.
pulls me in. It's like
It's
we
the
know
outfits,
you
man.
like Nia.
It's the gotchas.
You know we know you like Nia, so let's make the outfits for your favorite character.
Next year, you need to absolutely add Nia replicants to the docket.
Yes, I am.
Looking forward to you to playing that one. I don't know which one's my favorite, Nier Automata or Nier Replicant. Sometimes I say Nier Automata, but I like the cast of Replicant more. Emil, my boy. But yeah, amazing track to end on. I really enjoy that track. For everything I explained. What's your thoughts on the track?
Yeah, it's a great melody. Fantastic melody. And it's not a game I've really played, Record Keepers, so...
I've not played it either. I don't know if it's still active.
Yeah, I haven't got a clue.
But great soundtrack. If you love Final Fantasy music, they've got like 5 albums worth of Final Fantasy remixes, and every single one is a banger. I highly recommend Final Fantasy, the Record Keeper soundtracks. It's like 5 or 6 volumes. Don't need to play the game. If you grew up with Final Fantasy like we have, the game, especially in terms of music, is a whole celebration of Final Fantasy. Highly recommend listening to the soundtrack. And I think that's it. Is that everything from us?
I think so.
Well, listeners, have a wonderful, wonderful winter holidays, whichever holiday or religion or whatever you celebrate. It's winter solstice as well. Enjoy it. Spend it with your family and friends if you can. Do your best. Have fun. Eat lots. And make sure to take care of yourself too. I know Christmas can also be a lonely time for many. And hopefully this episode will spark a bit of 1 hour and a half joy with you. And yeah, please take care of yourselves.
Especially our Dark Souls and Orphan tracks.
Especially Dark Souls. And if you want to crawl yourself further into angry and loneliness, play some Dark Souls. Go on Steam, buy Dark Souls. Yeah. Enjoying the misery. Misery loves company.
Dear.
And yeah, enjoy it. Try and keep yourselves warm. So it's been very cold this year in the UK. Lots of love, and for 2026 and to 2020 and to 2026, and for everyone who's listened to the show, thank you for sticking with us. It's greatly appreciated. Especially our regular Pagey Possum. Thank you very much. It's been a fantastic year of the Silver Foxes with the main husbando ZakashiGaming and myself, GUYINAHATGAMES. It's been a fantastic year of just us geeking about video game music, and I can't wait to do it all over again in the new year. I really can't. It's going to be a great time. Zakashi, how would you like to leave it?
Oh, just like I say, thank you for being my wonderful co-host, who's always there, who will always be listening to music with myself and all those individuals that will come across these for future, and anyone who have listened to us previously. I want to say thank you all. You are all reasons why we do this, as much as each other. But hopefully we've got some wonderful things coming in 2026. So stay tuned. Including on both our platforms, on the purple platform. The purple platform, Mr. Hat. That's how you say it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Speaking of purple platform, drop us a comment and join us in the Discord, which will be in the comments box thingy down below somewhere. Join us in the Discord. You can also request a track in the music channel. I didn't do it this time because I forgot, but I'll announce usually ahead of time what type of show we're going to be doing for the next one for the music themed, and so you could drop a track in the music channel and it may get picked for the next one. And also join the Discord to be notified of when me and Zach go live with our respective channels. Housekeeping done, I think.
Good.
So, everybody, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. I don't think we'll be doing a show until the new year now. We'll be taking...
Certainly, we'll all see you in 2026.
We'll see you in 2026, maybe mid-2026. Not mid-January, because I think we're going to be taking a little bit of a break.
I'll take a break. We will.
So enjoy. We shall leave you with Christmas Melody from Final Fantasy Record Keeper, arrangements from Final Fantasy VII by Yuko Komiyama. Enjoy. Bye everyone. Merry Christmas.
Bye bye.
Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
There we go.
Merry Christmas. Where is... What am I doing, Zach? What am I doing?
You're playing music.
You're playing
what
music,
doing now.
right? That's what I'm doing. Okay. I'll mute myself and then I'll play the track. We have an error.
What have you done?
It's broken.
No, it's broke. Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu. Sacre bleu. The song is broken. I need to fix it. Oh no.
Oh no.
Try again.